what they, I guess, what they would kind of figure what right and wrong really is. So definitely appreciate that. Head Crack coming in there and doing his thing, and I definitely appreciate the live performance that he gave, because that was just, for one, he did it live. Like he did it live. Like he really had the instrumental. I think Divine
Mm.
of them had the instrumental pumping, and he was literally in his room somewhere. He hit it live. So that was great, and I really really appreciate that for him to come through. It shows his character and how much passion that he has for what he does. Um, I'm not going to introduce this lady just yet. We're going to talk about some things real quick. For those who don't know, I was before the show started. Complex Creator had a panel, which she's highlighting a lot of people who allow their platforms to have allow others to shine a light on what they're doing through their own platforms and things like that. And I was a guest on that. And I want to say thank you for even the invite. Again, like I said, I think me and Viva Coach were just now talking about it. Um,
Mhm.
I never think of myself interesting enough to sit there and have people try to pick my brain about things. So for people to actually have engagement and feel interested in my journey through this metaverse and the things that I've tried to accomplish within this space, I think is kind of dope. So I want to say thank you to Complex Creator for even having me on the panel and allowing me to speak. So thank you very much for that. Um, for those who don't know, again, it's definitely Mental Health Awareness Month for men, Men's Health Awareness. Again, I'm gonna say it every show between now and the end of the month, because for whatever reason, it just doesn't get highlighted the way
Mhm.
so many other things get highlighted in regards to different things. Like, uh, pff, uh, no disrespect to women, but it doesn't get highlighted the way your stuff gets highlighted. Like it just doesn't. I don't know why that is. Like I don't know if people are expecting us to. Oh, men are strong. They ain't worried about. No, we're worried about it.
Mm.
We're worried
Mhm.
about it. And for men, I just want you guys to know, man, we're definitely needed, man. Like we're
Mhm.
needed. So go and get those mental health checkups and go get those health checkups. I mean, you have to know what you're facing. And I think 9 times out of 10, that's part of the reason why people are so nervous and scared. Because they don't want to hear that doctor walk in there with the head down and their head shaking and telling you got type 2 diabetes or something. I mean, I'm not making light of that or anything like that. It's a serious situation, but I mean, I understand the fears that we may have
Mhm.
due to generational eating habits and things like that. So I understand it, but I mean, you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't get it checked out and find out what you're facing. So again, it's definitely Men's Health Awareness Month. So please, I definitely would recommend, like, go get checked out and go get seen about, please, because you're only going to do yourself a huge service. Because like I said before, men are definitely needed within this world and in this metaverse. So yeah, um, I don't know if we have any basketball fans in here, but are the Celtics winning? Anybody watching it? Anybody even care about this NBA playoffs going on right? It's the finals. I I don't know if anybody even cares about it, but yo, it's the finals right now. Uh-oh, here comes Shay. Shay!
I just want to say, on another note, the Bridgerton season 3 starts tomorrow.
Well,
Oh,
there
that's
you have it. Well,
fabulous.
there you have it. There you have it. There you. Hold on. You want to say it again? You want to highlight it one more time? I mean, that shows how much people really even care about this NBA finals right now. Um, um, Bad Boys for Life came out. I mean, anybody seen that yet? Shay, you seen it yet? Anybody? I seen it because I don't want to give away my illegal habits, but yeah, I saw it. It's actually pretty good. I think I'm just a Bad Boy one fave for life. So yeah, I don't think anything's gonna be better than that. But yeah, the new Bad Boys movie is out. It actually grossed $104 million in the box office the first weekend out. So, I definitely recommend it. I mean, it's a dope movie. Definitely recommend it. So okay, here we go. We have a phenomenal guest on the show today. I've watched her do her thing for a minute around here. I've actually had DMs of people advocating for her to want to come on the show and things like that as well. So I appreciate it. Just so y'all know, I listen. I listen. All right, just so you know. But again, I think it's always right time and right place to do certain things. And I think there's no better time than to have this phenomenal young lady on the show than now. She goes by the name of Viva Coach. So confetti for her, if you will, please and thank you. I appreciate it. Um, Hi, Miss Viva Coach.
Hello, hello. I won't
Okay,
be
so for
doing any
those who
live performances, Bird, and I am just putting that out there already, right?
got you, no live performances. Your presence is performance enough. so
Thank
so
you.
so thank you very much. For those who don't know, it's what, hold up, let me just make sure. It's 3:49 where you at, correct?
It's late. Yes, in the UK, it's nearly 4 o'clock in the morning. That's it.
So she's in the UK and it's 3:40 in the morning right now, and she actually stayed up to do this show. So ma'am, thank you. I
No,
really,
no,
really,
my
really do
pleasure.
appreciate it.
My absolute pleasure.
I'm a person of time. So for you to give your time at such a early in the morning, I want to say thank you, and I want to say I definitely appreciate you staying up long enough to make this
Most
happen.
welcome. Most welcome.
Um, so yeah, let's just jump into it, Miss
Hmm.
Viva Coach. First, let's just get Viva Coach. What's the the science behind the name?
What's the science behind the name? Well, look, when I was sort of, looking at branding my business for coaching, um, I wanted it to be something that is welcoming. I wanted it to be something that is thriving for those that get involved with it. I wanted it to be something about life and excitement and everything that brings with it, the fulfillment, the richness. And Viva stands for all those things. So in Spanish, it actually is about life and living and kind of reaching your potential, etc. So it kind of just made really good sense when I started exploring Viva. It felt like it just hit right. It just set right with me, and it didn't take too long. And I just set for it, and I was like, "This is it. It's almost kind of packages who I am, what I stand for, what the business is about, very nicely into that one word.
Got you. Life coach for women, business coach for all. I
That's it.
love it. I love it. How long did it take for you to get that phrase? How long did that take?
this is this this is you know what? It didn't take it's really bizarre. I was doing my first video for Insta, and I was doing the reel, and I started videoing myself, and I started sort of talking to the camera, and it just happened. I didn't think of it. I did not plan it. I did not consciously sort of place it in there. That's what it is. That is what was in my head, and it just came out. And from day one, it just was there. And I've kind of just led with it, because that is sort of a really good way to kind of just put it out there, who I am, what I stand for again. And yeah, so it's one of those stories that actually I did not sit, I did not scribe, I did not really plan for it, but I think it's just worked out well, because it defines me in a really good way in the business as well.
Definitely. I mean, it definitely has a ring to it. It definitely has a ring to it. I love it. I love it every time you say it. I love it every time. Life coach for women, uh, business coach for all. I love it. I love it. Okay, so before we even jump into the metaverse and things like that, let's just
Mhm.
get a little bit of your background. So
Of
I
course.
mean, if you don't know from the accent, she's not from the United States, of course. So I mean, you want to share where you're from originally?
I can do. And if you're hearing the accent, you're probably also thinking this does not sound like, UK London accent neither. And that's because I'm in the north of the UK. I am a northern lass, as they would call it here.
Uh,
And that means that I come with a what they call a Geordie accent in the north of the UK. Now I'm not that strong of a Geordie anymore. I think I had
okay.
more of an accent in the past, and that's simply because I've traveled a lot with my clients as part of my work, and I've spent so much time in different parts of the UK that I've picked up a bit of accents here and there, but hopefully I've still got some identity left of that northern accent somewhere in there. So yes, I live in the north of England in a beautiful town called County Durham. Well, it's town's called Consett, but the region's County Durham. I'm not too far from Scotland, which is of course one part of United Kingdom, which means that I'm much north up. So we get lovely sort of greenery, countryside, the beautiful scenery to go with it, very clear air to breathe in. So I'm very fortunate enough to be living somewhere where sort of nature is playing a huge part, but yet I'm not far out from any of the big cities. So Newcastle is one of the biggest cities around. Another couple of cities are Sunderland and Durham. So I've got some amazing big cities around me and really well connected back into sort of the capital, London as well, where I do travel a lot for work too. And
Uh,
in the north, I live with my husband. I've got two amazing kids. They're both at university doing their first degrees. So we are empty nesters. But I do have a little dog, which was supposed to be my son's. But of course, he's gone off to uni. And who's looking after the dog? Me.
of
Um,
course, of
but
course.
it's actually lovely to have him around because being an empty nester actually doesn't feel as quiet as it would have otherwise. So yeah, that's Viva.
Got you. So the kids are gone.
Mm-hmm.
Husband,
Mm-hmm.
dog. And here
That's
you go. So let's rewind a little bit before we even get to the husband and everything else.
it.
So you were raised in the Scotland area, yes,
Northern, yeah, northern part of the UK.
the
Yes.
northern part of the
Mm-hmm.
UK, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I mean, the lifestyle. I mean, because I mean, we're in America. I mean, what is the lifestyle like out there? And now, did you ever have any desire to want to like leave and like live in the United States? Any?
Wow, I almost class myself as a bit of a global citizen in some ways. So I was actually born in Pakistan,
Mm,
and I traveled back and forth to the UK from very early age because my mom's side of family was actually all in the UK mainly,
gotcha.
and my dad's side of family was in Pakistan. And when we were young, we would travel quite a bit and we'll stay long periods of time with my grandma in the UK, which meant that sort of UK was always second home even back then. And then I lost my dad at the age of 9,
Mm,
unfortunately, to a heart attack. We've talked about sort of, men's health there before. Absolutely, very important, actually, hugely important subject. But yeah, so I
yes.
lost my dad at quite a young age, and because my mom's family was UK based, then I think it just made good sense for her to be close to her family at that time, which meant that we made that permanent move to the UK. So I do class myself as a global citizen in some ways because I have sort of, moved and lived in different places. I then, when we came to the UK, actually, we were in a different part of the UK. Then I kind of, moved to London and did some of my education, in fact, in London as well. Then we sort of, came back to north of the UK and I kind of continued with my further education there. Then sort of, for my university, I've kind of went to different towns for my universities as well. So I have moved around quite a bit. It's come with its challenges, I'm not going to lie, because, you're moving school. I mean, I moved 5 different schools in my
Mm,
time to complete my education. That was a challenge in itself. But,
yes.
I have always had absolutely amazing support ecosystem around me, which meant that I was able to still thrive and achieve what I have achieved today. But living in the UK, I'll tell you what, my son is absolutely obsessed with United States. My daughter has a dream of living in Manhattan, New York. So I've got absolutely no doubts that we will probably end up having some sort of home, in US as well. Absolutely, yes. But yeah,
Okay,
and
got
I
you.
do travel back and forth quite a bit, from places to places because of my global role in my corporate world as well. So,
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah. Mhm.
So, what is your favorite space to venture to in the United States?
Well, look, I've got family in Seattle. And I think that's got its own vibe going on there, especially with sort of all the tech innovations and
Yes,
all that
yes.
kind of great stuff, right? So we've got that there. Then I love New York. I really genuinely do. And the reason, I'll tell you why. Look, I've traveled a lot, and a number of times you see these beautiful cities and places on big screens, and they
Yes.
feel and look different when you land. Times Square, oh my lord, that place is exactly what it looks like on that
On
big
TV.
screen.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And that is what's so beautiful about it. And
Right.
Venice is same if you've ever traveled to Venice.
Yeah.
Venice
Okay.
is exactly the same, it looks and feels, and the vibe is exactly the same as what you would see in the movies and places. And that's what I like about it, because I'm a very authentic person myself. I like to kind of find that in places that I visit as well, and New York does that for me absolutely 100%.
I got it. I know. I get it. I'm like that too. I like when to go to certain cities or countries and things like that, and where things that you see on TV actually look the same in real life.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert for those who never been to Egypt or anything like that. The Sphinx that's next to the pyramids, it's no bigger than an 18 wheeler. I'm gonna just let you know right now. So
Yeah.
sorry. So if you ever go down there to Egypt and you go down to the Sphinx, I'm letting you know right now, it's
Yeah.
no bigger than an 18 wheeler.
That's it. That's it. And you've got pyramids, and then sort of what?
Right,
Not too many meters away, you've got McDonald's, right? So
right. And dominoes.
yes,
100%.
absolutely.
Yes, yes. So you spoke on your education.
Mhm.
Um, what was your majors?
So look, I'm a lifelong learner. So yes, academically, universities have been an extremely important part of my academics, but actually professional qualifications have been a huge part of that as well. So in terms of, again, the language is different in the UK, right? You've said major, but I did my bachelor's in information and communication management. Back then, that was actually, what would be equivalent of a tech degree today, a computer science with an AI element. That's what it would be today. And then I did my master's in business. It's in management, so it's a MA in management, and those are sort of my bachelor's and masters from my university. But like I say, I genuinely believe in being a lifelong learner, and I've literally finished off my chartered management consulting status qualification not long ago, and I am right now enrolled onto another accredited qualification as we speak, and I've literally just signed up to that yesterday. So it never
Awesome.
ends. Education never
Awesome.
ends.
Got you. Okay. I hate. I'm gonna dive right into this. You are a very big advocate for empowering women. Okay,
That's it.
I mean, I don't know if anybody noticed that or not, but yeah, I've noticed it. So, my question is this: what, what in your life happened to where you became such a voice for empowering women? Like, there's
Mhm.
always a situation, maybe, or
Mhm.
something that struck you in a certain manner growing up in your childhood or anything like that, to where you became a stronger voice for saying, okay, people like me need to be a little bit more aware of who they
Mhm.
are, their
Mhm.
strengths, and things to that nature. So, what was that stepping stone, or what was that turning point?
You know what the funny thing is? I was born this way, and I don't. I genuinely mean it. I can remember from as little as I was always about what does an empowered woman younger looks like, because that's what I used to tell myself. I never even back then sort of, you're looking at 80s when I was born and I was young, and I always saw myself as an independent woman growing up who was financially stable,
Mm.
who did not rely or depend on anyone. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with having your support around you that you depend on. That's a different thing. What I mean is, I would achieve and do whatever I want to do in my life without myself becoming a barrier, in that, as in, I have not given myself enough education, enough opportunities, enough financial stability, etc. And I think because I was, I genuinely think it was part of my DNA. I've always been like that. But I think my life experiences only made it stronger and more powerful for me to kind of continue on that pathway. My mom, I've shared with you, my dad passed away when I was nine years old. My mom became a single parent, and she has been an absolute rock. I've been brought up around some very, very strong women, and I've firsthand seen what that does to young people, young women around those other sort of, ideal women. And that has made me sort of almost into a bit of a mission in ensuring that I'm able to always give back, because I've had support, I've had mentors, I've had sponsors, I've had truth tellers, I've had coaches, I've had them all in the form of women, and they've all been such a great impact in my life that for me, I feel if I can give some and part of that back to the community, to young girls growing up, to have that sustainable future, to have that sort of, financially, economically strong standing, then that's what I want to do, because I've
Right.
firsthand seen what it can do and achieve. And yes, that's what it is. So any opportunity, I'm there.
Got it. So, I mean, is this something you do for, I guess, 9 to 5, if you will, and things like that? Like, because I've been doing the research and things like that. I've seen you like you visited a lot of universities and things like that, and you
Hmm.
had open
Hmm.
discussions and things like that. So, are these discussions about women empowerment and things like that in your real life, and that you get compensated for?
No, so I do that as passion. As I mean,
Ah,
I do life coaching for women, and of course, that's a service offer from the Viva Coach Experience.
yes.
But I mean, could I life coach everyone? Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. But it's almost my way of dedicating myself to the passion that I have, which is why I always say life coach for women. If someone else came along and wanted advice and wanted to pick my brains and wanted me to support them in that journey and fulfillment, absolutely I'm there for everyone. But the reason why I do that for women is because, again, going back to, I want to be able to give something back. I want to be able to be part of an ecosystem of women empowerment, and that's why I do it. I don't get compensated for it. I actually do it out of my own time.
Mhm.
And I've recently started to work with Africa VR, and it is a group. It's an absolutely fantastic sort of, non-profit that is working with young girls in Africa, in Kenya, in villages, giving them an opportunity to come into metaverse and explore a wider world outside of growing up, settling down, having children, and being sort of, and making homes, which is equally important to many
Yes.
people in different ways. But knowing that there are other choices as well that they can make is an awesome thing. And that is, again, just out of my own sort of time. I love spending that kind of, time, and be able to share my knowledge. And I'm hopefully setting up something around business 101 for these girls, so that they can start seeing their talents and actually start selling their services and products through metaverse globally as well. So that's what I'll be looking to do with those girls.
Got you. Understood. Okay, so now that we know that you're not life coaching nobody for money. What's your regular what do you do for work?
Number of different things. So I am an award-winning chartered management consultant. I've got a
Say
corporate
that again.
role.
An award winning?
An award-winning and chartered management consultant. Absolutely. So I've worked with many different clients. I am a specialist in government and health industries, and I've worked with local government, national government. So when Brexit was happening in the UK, for example, I was leading on a couple of those programs as well. I have worked with the transport clients. I've worked with housing clients. I've worked with health clients. I've worked with charity clients. And the work that I tend to deliver for my clients is typically around transformation of enterprises, and they are typically tech enabled transformations. So could be on the back of implementation of an ERP system, and of that sort. So how do we use digital um, power to bring it to enterprises in a way where they can continue to thrive despite the mega trends that we see today. So I work with my clients on all of that. So that's my corporate role. And I have a global role. So I actually work with our biggest global clients. So all the big names that you might see around you in all sorts of different industries, you can bet on it. They are clients that I'm working with in all different shapes and forms. On top of that, I am a female founder myself. So I've got a business in real life. I've got a number of portfolio of businesses in real life. And then, of course, I've got the Viva Coach experience in the metaverse as well. And then, of course, all the work that I do around female empowerment as well.
Sheesh. Well, damn.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, how do you create this balance?
Some days, the truth is, there's no balance. Other days, I manage to get it. Some days, I'm up until this time in the morning doing all sorts of different things. Other days, I get a nice, good long night's sleep. The truth of the fact is, I think I'm someone who is driven by results, and that's what motivates me. Seeing my
Yes.
clients thrive in their industries and staying relevant in their markets, that drives me, that motivates me. Seeing my businesses flourish and thrive and be able to make a difference in the community, in the markets that I operate in, that drives me. Female empowerment stuff we've already talked about. Honestly, if I didn't get any sleep at all and I was doing that 24/7, I would still do it. So
Love it.
I do try and kind of balance some of these things, but the truth of the fact is, I think nothing comes easy. It comes with hard work. I've always been a grafter. I've always worked hard. I've never shied away from it. But I do try and create balance now and then, here and there, to ensure that I'm looking after my health. I'm there with my family. In doing all that I do, I've never missed a single parents' evening or a show at school for kids, for example, or anything that they ever sort of, go, Mom, can you help me with this? I am always going to be there. So yes, it does mean that I have to prioritize certain things, certain times.
Yes.
But all in all, I find a lot of it's very fulfilling for me what I do. So I engage in it wholly.
Love it. I love it. Okay, so now, okay, so you spoke in regard to your profession and what you do on it for
Mm-hmm.
work and things like that. These are very male-driven arenas,
Mm-hmm.
if you will.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, I guess my question is, even with the life coaching and things that you do, how do you keep the passion, if you will, to keep pushing through and advocating for women and empowerment and things like that in such a male-driven
Mm-hmm.
society that you are engaged in all the time?
I think primarily by educating people and being very open and honest about these conversations. I think most of the time you'll find people are extremely welcoming. They're very open to hear. They're very, engaging if you do put a question out there. Sometimes you win. Most of the times you win. Sometimes you don't. And I think at that, I am, you stick with it, you persevere with it, and I think you do get somewhere with it. And even if on the face of it feels like that wasn't a win, actually, you've still had an opportunity to engage with someone, interact with someone on that topic. So you've definitely left some kind of print there for them to even reflect back to in the future. So that's how I see it, which is why I see every situation as win-win. I was on one project this one time, and actually whole of my team was men. I was the only and I was leading the program, and I was the only woman, women on there. And the way I kind of sort of, tackled that situation was to also learn from my colleagues, actually, because men do operate in a different way and
Yes.
women operate in a different way. And it's a two-way street, and we should learn from each other. Just because I am sort of, female, about female empowerment, does not mean that I am sort of, in that camp and not in the other camp. That's not how it works. That's not how I see it working. Allyship is extremely important across both genders, and I think it's important that we do actually talk about these things very openly. And I learned so much from my team, and they in fact learned a lot from me as well, and we kind of exchanged those ideas. We ensured we had opportunity to talk about sort of diversity in the team. By the time I left that program and concluded it, we had a lot more balanced team on there, which was conscious effort. So I think just realizing sometimes our unconscious minds can drive our decisions in the way where we end up where we were, means that you can actually be conscious when you're making certain decisions to go, do I need to just challenge myself here? Is this a skill set that is, available from someone who might not fit the frame typically in the way we think about this? And yeah, so it's kind of, just it's keeping open to challenge and to actually take challenge back as well.
Y'all hear that, ladies? Just so y'all know, that was for y'all. You know what I'm saying? So y'all know in these male driven lanes that you guys journey in on a day-to-day basis. So y'all know how I'm sure y'all handle them in your own ways as well. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, she
It's
does this.
interesting, right, Burton? Because if you think about it, there's more women in metaverse, yet there are more men in the roles to do with metaverse.
Ain't
So
that something?
isn't it just so I think yeah there needs to be some kind of balance, and same with AI, right? Only 20 sort of 11%, and that percentage would have moved and changed now, but last time I checked it was only 11% of women are in any AI teams. Well,
Mm,
that's only going to translate into that data, that's only then going to translate into what we're going to see coming out of AI, and then therefore the decisions that will be based on that. So we've got to consciously sort of keep making that effort.
definitely, 100%, definitely. And we're going to definitely get into this AI thing because yeah, we're going to talk about that. Really, really going to talk about that. Okay, so I mean, like everybody else here, you have this Oculus on your face right
Hmm.
now. So
Hmm.
when were you introduced to this Oculus? How did this come about?
Interesting, because the very first um, experience of being in metaverse was actually last year in September. I think it was September time, and I came along as a keynote speaker at an event that was held by Boss Leo, and Tony Stark was. It was a Stark approved event, so Tony Stark and Maddie were both involved in that too, and it was called Birth of the Bosses. And I came along to share my story of being an entrepreneur. And I've never looked back really. So I actually, funny enough, this is my husband's headset. Actually, he was looking to come into metaverse. He does property development in real life, and he kind of wanted to bring that into the metaverse space. So he bought the headset. So I had the headset. So when I had the opportunity, sort of, put in front of me to come in as a keynote speaker, I thought, well, I've got the headset. Let's do it. Let's do it. And I've never looked back. And that's because part of it is I'm an entrepreneur at heart. So when I am engaging with things and interacting with things in life, I'm always looking at opportunities. How can I use this? How can I grow this? How can I make a business out of it? Essentially, is always on my mind. What innovative ideas and thoughts and things are there that I can execute? And this kind of became part of that thinking process. And before you know it, the Viva Coach experience was sort of was born out of it. I do coaching. I do have a coaching business in real life as well, but that was the element that I brought into metaverse as a first stance.
Got you. I love the fact that I mean, a lot of people in this space are doing things that they aren't certified for.
Mm-hmm.
In a lot of ways. So the fact that you do have the background and things like that creates a certain authenticity and a
Mm-hmm.
certain trust within people to know that they can come and confide in you in a certain
Absolutely.
manner, and knowing that you have the background and the education
Mm-hmm.
to complement it. So definitely,
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate that. Um, so are you a builder or content content creator strictly? Do you sit in
I'm not
build
a
mode at all?
builder. I have been in a build mode, and I am a quick learner. If I wanted to be a builder, I think I could learn some tricks,
Yes.
but that's not primarily where my head is. I would still like to learn few things just so that I can keep some of the maintenance up with my own world. I think that would be a good benefit. And that's just how I've always operated in my life. Again, I think I find it very difficult to just depend on someone. I'd like to be as much independent as I possibly can. So to that extent, I think I would like to just learn some of the basics and things. So I'm not having to sort of call on help 24/7 when I do need it. But I do also very much believe in, look, you have experts, you have subject matter experts, you have those that sort of, specialize in certain skills, technical skills, etc. And I am not that. I'm not a builder, and I am an entrepreneur. I'm a businesswoman. And for me, that's my space in the metaverse. And that's what I really want to focus on.
Basically, she ain't building because she got too many other things going on. Period. Basically, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I think that's something that needs to be highlighted a little bit more because I mean, there's no secret script or no contract that says you have to build when you're in Horizon World. No,
Mm-hmm.
there are people within this space that have so many different skill sets and things like that that they can bring and highlight to this space. Everybody isn't a builder. Some people actually have content that they can give to the masses that even build and that can
Mm-hmm.
actually assist them in who they are as everyday human beings and things to that nature. So I think that's something that needs to be echoed a little bit more. Like, no, you don't have to build to be dynamic within the space. I mean, you can be
Absolutely.
dynamic within who you are as an individual and share your passion with the rest of the world, and it's just fine. And
Yeah, I mean, if you think about sort of, let's look at internet, right? Before Web3, internet, not everyone needed to be a website builder to be
right,
on the internet, and have a presence there, etc. And I think that's, this is the same thing. It's just, it's
yes,
in a 3D form. It's Web3. It's more of an emerging technology. So I think everyone wants to sort of maybe dab their hands into different things and learn different skills. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But prioritization is so, so important. And knowing what your real
yes,
focus is extremely
yes.
important, because that is what then I've talked about being results driven. If you want to be results driven, you need to know what results you're aiming for. And for me, like I say, it's not necessarily creating those worlds. And I absolutely admire and absolutely take in. Honestly, I came in, the first thing I said to you was, well, and this is a great place. Look at these art. I genuinely do appreciate the creation that's happening in this
Yes.
in this space, but definitely leaving that to experts that have gained those skills and
Oh, I'm with you.
specializing in it.
I'm with you. With the camera, CJ, you are you on me right now? I'm not getting back in build mode, so y'all can kick that. That's not happening ever again in life. So I definitely understand. I am comfortably in my lane as
Hmm.
picking your brain right now. I love it. So I definitely can agree to what you're saying in regards to that. Um,
Hmm.
you are a big advocate for AI.
Hmm.
We're gonna get into that, and I want to know why,
Hmm.
specifically. But before we do that, we gotta pay a couple of bills, and we gotta go to commercial break. So as soon as we get back, I promise we are going to investigate as to why Miss Viva Coach is so heavily influenced and supportive of AI. This is After Q Speak Your Truth. We'll be right back. Hi. So they're going to commercial break right now. So
Okay.
we're going to
So
come
how
back.
long?
What's up, y'all? It's MetaClean, and listen, please join me every Tuesday at 10 p.m. for Meta Talks Live. And the awesome thing is, you don't have to leave your house to do it. Meta Talks Live, coming back soon.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So,
Thank you. I'm glad.
are you getting what you needed to get?
Awesome. God bless everybody. I'm so glad, amen, that everything is finding you well, and I pray it's finding you well. This is Pastor Johnny live from our sanctuary here in the Metaverse at Word of Grace Meta Church. I want to invite you out to our service here on Sunday nights for worship and the Word, now streaming through Lux Vision Studios. So excited about that and what God is doing in this space and place. See you Sunday.
Yo, what's good? What's good? It's your boy HG. I was 702. Let's get tripping like a kid, untie his shoes. And you see the vibe and you see the move. Where I'm at, that's the Howard Hour Live to be exact. And you can catch me live on Lux Vision Studios to be exact. So make sure you tune in every Friday night, 11 Central, 12 Eastern, and 9 Pacific. And you know, everybody's a somebody. Catch me live on Lux Vision Studio. Let's go.
Hey, what's up? This your boy Teray,
CJ Shotlow. It's your boy Westside.
and you chilling with the Breaking Bread podcast. Hey, tune in and check us out every Saturday for some good talk.
Hi, I'm Jen Smash, and I'm here at VIP Entrepreneur Academy, where this is a world that you can learn how to start a business. For all you entrepreneurs who want to learn how to start a business, this is the ideal place to learn in the metaverse. This is a 9-week course where we go ahead and dissect every section of a business, from understanding your customer and industry to creating your budget for payroll and even taxes. We break down what is the requirements for you to have a successful business. So if you're ready to become an entrepreneur and want to learn the ropes, VIP Entrepreneur is ready to take in new students just like you. You can contact me at vipentrepreneur@gmail.com. See you at the next class.
All good. We here. We are here. All right. We are here. Oh, all right. So we had to go to our commercial break. Thank you for you guys for staying around. Before we left, I was alluding to this young lady being I'm sorry, such a huge advocate of AI.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not a big advocate for AI. So this is going to be an interesting discussion here.
Sounds like it. Sounds like it.
Yes, yes, yes. So I mean, just AI has been around for years, centuries
Yeah,
even.
very long time.
So let's just be clear here. But
Mm-hmm.
the magnitude in regards to what AI consumes nowadays hasn't been.
That's right.
That's the part that scares me to death.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so my question to you is, what made you such a big advocate for AI?
Look, I think I've always said human sort of, you need to be human led, tech powered.
Mm,
Genuinely believe in that. And I think
okay.
it's in that order that I'm
Yes.
advocate of it as well. And, I've just kind of actually finished off my AI masterclass earlier today with my cohort, and we were looking at different tools and things. Why am I such a big advocate? Is because I think it's a huge enabler in what we're trying to do in the world today, and it allows you to be more efficient, more productive.
Mm,
And that's all different parts of AI that absolutely appreciate. You're right. I do talk about sort of, technological disruption has been a mega trend known to businesses and communities for a very long time.
yes.
10 years ago, there was a report out by PricewaterhouseCoopers, the PwC, that talked to the mega trends, and under technological disruption, AI was certainly one of them.
Yes.
Those megatrends have not changed today. You're absolutely right. But three things have: the scope, speed of those megatrends has certain scale has certainly changed, and that is because of the generative AI, right? So I was saying to my masterclass today, my earliest encounter that I remember of AI was probably me sitting on my desktop computer years and years and years and years and years ago, and playing chess with computer and failing miserably at it, actually. But that that's when I realized I'm not really that good at chess, people. It's still one
Right.
of my favorite games, though. It's still one of my favorite games. So yeah, that was my first encounter, right? But when you look at it dating back, it was actually 1940s, 1950s when AI
Yes.
first hit.
Yes.
But it's the scale, scope, and and speed that has been, it's massively different to what we've seen any technology do to us in last few years, and that is because of generative AI, right? So that is the idea of being able to interact with AI in a very natural language human way.
Mm,
And the reason why it's become so big is because now that makes it accessible to mass, and that's what's grown it so massively. But in that, of course, I am very well aware of both sides of AI,
right.
very conscious of it. There's an ethics side of it, there's a social side of it, there's a diversity side of it that we need to be still very, very acute to.
Yes.
But it's the opportunities it does bring to businesses. So for someone like me who's dabbling into so many different things every day, I don't do 9 to 5. I just do round the clock. And AI has really helped me to become so much more efficient and productive at some of the things that I do. And that's the value that I see in it.
Okay, so my fear is this with AI. My
Hmm.
fear is that people are utilizing AI to think for them. Um, my fear is that a lot of people, yes, it's convenient and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel that they're utilizing it to think for them, and they're not using their own mindsets and
Mm-hmm.
things like that
Mm-hmm.
to create and things like that. So you're literally being driven by something else. Like your moods and how you're thinking is now being controlled by this AI mechanism and things like that. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
to that point, what do you say to that?
I think that that's a real concern. First of all, I think we should acknowledge that. I think they're just like anything else. There should be a balance. I mean, growing up, I'm sure sort of, you may have heard from your parents. I know I heard from my parents. Stop watching so much telly, your eyes are going to go square. Right?
Right.
Or stop being on that computer so much. Oh my God, are you ever off your phones? So, balance with all of these different things is extremely important. Now, I always talk about AI will not replace us, but those who know AI will replace us. So it's really
Mm.
important to know technology, to understand technology, and to see the right place for it. Humans, how are we different to computers and any kind of spatial technology that we look at today, and specifically AI, is our critical thinking. And I was saying that to my cohort in master classes as well. So it's very important that we do continue to critically think through things. We
Yes.
are designed to be innovative, we're designed to be creative, we're designed to be curious, and we're designed to think creative. We're designed to think critically. And those are human traits that we must continue to thrive on, and then use AI to enable some of the other stuff for us, right? So I think that balance is extremely important. Now, when you look at our organs, everything that we use every day deteriorates with time. More we use our heart, more we use our lungs, more we use our kidneys, more we use our stomach. All these things are deteriorating with time because of usage. Your brain is the only organ that actually thrive on usage. More you use, better it gets,
The more it grows.
healthier
Yes.
it gets, and it's there for you as your strength. So you're absolutely right. Being able to think through your brain, using that machine, keeping that switched on, well oiled, is very important, which is why I talked about being a lifelong learner. Just because AI is helping you to serve one or two tasks, that's given you time to invest in yourself for a new skill, for something new. I'm also learning Spanish now. Hey, do I need to learn Spanish? Absolutely not. Is there any need? Absolutely not. The reason I'm learning Spanish is because your brain's used differently when it's learning a new language,
Mm.
and its memory stores used extremely differently in when you're learning language. So yes, I may be asking my AI to take on certain tasks, but actually I'm activating my brain in certain ways to ensure that I'm not locking up and sort of collecting dust in terms of how I operate mentally. So yeah, absolutely balance.
Got it. Understood. Understood. So Elon Musk. Well, let's take that back. Apple,
Mm-hmm,
the
mm-hmm.
new Apple phone has
Yes.
some new type of AI technology
Yeah.
that Elon Musk is terrified of because he
Yeah.
feels that it's a breach of security.
Mm-hmm.
Do you? I mean, I'm sure you know about this. I mean, do you
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
care to elaborate on it and just give the audience like a idea of what this is?
Well, let's even start with Elon Musk. Aren't we fear of? We've got certain fears ourselves, like um, about the man himself, right?
Right,
That in itself is something. Nothing against the guy. I think extremely innovative
right,
head
right.
there. But look, I think that fear of security, that fear was there when he took over Twitter, now X, right?
Mm,
Any technology would always pose that fear of privacy and security and safety, which is why we need to make right choices. Again, I mean, even with the days of internet, cookies on your computer, what you're looking at, what you're not,
yes,
all of that has always been there. I think what's now happening is magnified even further
yes,
because of the way the technology works, which is why I think it's important as you're putting your information out there that you're very careful about it. Now, in my corporate role, I don't go and just use ChatGPT. I use our own internal safe product that we have. That is AI, AI bot for our internal purposes that I use. I would never put my corporate information on a public AI data model. So I think, which is why it's extremely important to educate yourself, because I think half of the fear comes from unknown.
yes.
The other half comes from the fact that it's emerging and it's developing. So if you know how it works and how it operates, you know how to deal with the risks that it does come with. And I think you just kind of, balance that. And that's what it is for the majority of people in their day-to-day life. What AI offers, you can balance that privacy aspect, you can balance that sort of, security aspect. Then where Elon Musk is talking about hell a lot more, that is on a very, very different stage, very big stage, that almost goes to even into political landscape,
Yes.
geopolitics, and all sorts of different things, which I do agree. I think, we need more regulation and
Yes.
we need more compliance around a number of different things when it comes to AI. Now in Europe, we do have that. We've actually got AI Act that is now active. So we do have, if you like, the framework to work with. In the US, they're going with the idea of, we don't want to, because when you put a regulation in place, sometimes it hinders innovation. And US is going with the idea of, look, guys, behave yourself, and gals, behave yourself and keep innovating. So, different parts of the world are dealing with this in very different ways, because again, it's just emerging right now. So, some people don't want to cap that innovation. Others, like Europe, always has been, always will be, I think, slightly more towards regulation. And I think there's a time and place for that too.
Got you. Got it. 100%. So again, you are definitely a supporter of AI.
Hmm.
Um, um, are there any is there anything AI about AI that you fear that I guess from a human standpoint that we will overuse or anything like that? Is there
Hmm.
anything, any type of danger that you foresee happening if we don't do certain things the right way?
I think it's going back to what we were saying before, not losing your own sort of, knowledge bank, not you losing your own selves in giving
Yes.
away something so much. Now, research shows, because of social media, our concentration span has become even smaller,
Mm,
and that we also do not like long text. So reading books is becoming something of old days.
yes.
So knowing those facts, so because why? We've got what, so many characters we can put on X. When we're doing captions on Instagram, we don't want to write an essay, nobody's going to read it. So there are things that are driving our behaviors in certain ways. And because of that, our minds are getting conditioned in certain ways as well. So being conscious of all those facts, I read a lot more books than I ever did before. And
Mm,
that is one of the reasons why I've made that shift. So I think being conscious of how it impacts you, and it's just like your health as well, right? We are
yes.
very conscious of what we eat, because what we put inside of us is actually going to have an impact on how healthy life we're going to live. This is no different in some ways. You just need
Definitely.
to be conscious. What does scare me is different for me, because I'm in a transitional space. I can see I've been in the world before that, and I'm going through a changing world now, and I know perhaps it's going to change so much that I'm already putting almost things in place to ensure that I don't become the machine that we've just talked about, reading the books, conditioning my mind in a different way, etc. My fear and my concern comes more for coming generations who will just born into it,
Mm,
and what would that mean for them, and how
yes.
long can we continue to challenge ourselves and not just become part of that fabric? I think
Right.
that's where my fear is.
Solely reliable on AI without any past
Absolutely.
history of utilizing your own mindset and your
Mm-hmm.
own intuition
Mm-hmm.
and things to that nature. Yes, I
Yeah.
get it. I get it 100%. Definitely. Yes. Okay, so back to your brand within the metaverse and things like that.
Yes.
Your overall vision. What is your overall vision for your brand within Horizon World? And in addition to that, have you ventured to other platforms and things to that nature?
Absolutely. So the first part of your question, what is my vision for my brand in the metaverse? My vision is to help people thrive in life and in their businesses, to
Mm-hmm.
find fulfillment while they stay true to their beliefs. That's ultimately what I'm trying to do through everything that I do. So I want them, if creating a business, finding a talent, leveraging that for their financial stability is their goal, then that's what I want to help them with. So my vision is very directly sort of, aligned with those of my clients. That's the first thing. Secondly, in metaverse, I think it helps in a different way. I know that my clients in metaverse, their behaviors are very different to my clients in real world. And I think it's kind of, being an avatar almost takes part of the vulnerability away. I think it allows you
Right.
to be honest, it allows you to be open quicker and easier, which is what I'm finding in the metaverse. So there's that. So my mission now has become to, work with all those individuals that are coming in, that have perhaps come into this space at first as a social platform and for entertainment platform, and now finding different talents and setting their businesses up. Now they have a talent, but they perhaps want to polish up skills on how do you set up a business, how do you create something that is sustainable and thriving in future. So I want to help and support that, because I have businesses in my own real life, and I'm a business coach, and I'm a management consultant, so I've got right skill set to support them. That's what my vision is here. In terms of other platforms, yes, I have. I've been in Spatial. I've been in VR chat
Mm-hmm.
ever so briefly. I am making sure that I might find my feet well in Horizon Worlds first, and I would like to go into other platforms as well and expand. But I also believe in, you know, starting small, think big, start small. That's always been my mantra. Think big, start small. So, yes, I have all these different plans for growth and scaling my business. But right now, I want to sort of start from Horizon Worlds. And also, I genuinely always say this as well. What if the next big thing is 1,000 small things? So, focus on some of those small acts, which will help you to achieve your big vision.
Got you. Well, we're gonna keep you in Viva Coach mode right now. In
Mm-hmm,
regards to helping the lives of women right now. So here's the situation right now. Here's the situation
mm-hmm,
I'm gonna put you in. You have a young lady who's looking for I guess her lane, doesn't feel like she has her own self-worth, um doesn't feel like she's getting the support from her family and things like that, and she's looking looking to you in particular for some type of guidance or some type of words or something that you can give her to give her the confidence and the drive to push forward and persevere. What do you tell that young lady?
I think I would start from, you might not be getting your support from your family, but your support ecosystem is much bigger than your family. Your family is part of that. So, who else is in your support ecosystem? Look at that. The fact that they're having that conversation with me right now means that I'm part of that support ecosystem. So all of a sudden, if this was at zero, you've got one now. So that's where you start. Then you start kind of thinking about, who are my friends, who are my so I when I talk about support ecosystem, I talk about sort of 4 or 5 different group of people in there. Some will be your mentors, some will be your coaches, some will be your truth tellers, some will be your sponsors. So don't try and find everything in one person. Try and look for parts of this in different people. So one of your friends might be great at sponsoring you. Another person at work might be great at being your mentor. Someone, a good friend, someone you've known for a long time might be good truth teller for you. So don't look for everything in one person. Go
Mm.
and explore and find different means of finding that support. That's really, really important. And in terms of sort of, your own worth, you've got to respect your own self first before others will give you that respect. So start owning what is it that really is of your concern, and how can you address it? What's in your control? What is not in your control? So I work with what I've got a framework called Pi of All. And the reason I've kind of, created that framework is because often, a lot of the time, people, friends, family, colleagues outside looking in would often say to me, "You've got it all. How, you're married, you've got 2 kids, you've got a beautiful house, lovely car, great job, businesses, etc., etc. How do you do it, Viva? How do you do it, Asha? You've got it all." And I've always said, define your own all. What does
Mm.
all means to you? Because having my all will definitely not fit you, because we're just two different people. Your all
Yes.
will definitely not fit me. Part of it might, part of it might not. So I've got this framework which I call Pie of All, and it's essentially you create your own pie and you slice your pie the way you want. And each slice could be different things. Is it a career that you want? Is it a family and friends time that you want? Is it, I want to grow a new knowledge base? Is it, I actually want to find love in my life, a companionship, a partner, whatever that pie is, we define that pie. And all of a sudden, an elephant starts to sort of, look much smaller, and you start working through one by one by one those different elements. And I work with my clients by breaking big things down into smaller things so that it's not overwhelming, because often in that situation that you've just described, someone would feel very overwhelmed with everything that's happening around them.
Mm. Um, anybody have any questions? Because I think I hit the wickets on a little bit of all these. I think we definitely covered a lot today. Well, good. Oh, Miss MK, yes, ma'am. You're on mute.
Hi everyone. Hi Viva Coach.
Hello.
I was so interested when you mentioned about Kenya because I'm from Kenya,
Hmm.
and I wanted to know which organization you work with in Kenya, or what's the name of your organization that you're helping women to come to VR.
Yeah, of course, of course. So it's just an initiation of conversation at the moment. I've met all the girls that they've onboarded, and I'm looking to see how I can support them further. But it's called Africa VR
Yes,
Center.
yes,
Yes.
I'm part of it. I'm part
Oh,
of it.
awesome.
Yes,
Okay.
and Microsoft donated 100 headsets
Yep.
last year, early last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to know if you're part of it, but thank you so much.
Yeah. I met with those girls. They
Paul
came
Simon?
along amazing. They're amazing. I mean, their confidence in that program, the way they were asking me questions, knowing how, where they started from to where they've come to, it's such a
Mm-hmm.
long way.
Yeah,
It's amazing. I was so
yeah.
proud of them. So proud of them.
Have you met Paul Simon?
I did ever so briefly. He
Yeah,
did come along to the talk, and we are hopefully catching up soon again.
yeah. He's family. He's part of my
That's
family.
right.
Yeah. But thank you. I'm so
Awesome. Well,
excited.
that's great. Small world, right? I
Yeah,
always
I
Small
know,
talk about
right?
world. You see
it.
that?
Is, isn't it just?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a global village. That's what it is. That's
Exactly.
what I call
I
it.
love it. I love
And
it.
just let them know that Africa VR Campus and Center is the only campus in Africa that is uh, uh, advocating for VR headsets and VR, I mean, virtual reality
You're doing absolutely
experience.
fantastic job.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant job. And I'm
Oh
so
my
glad
gosh.
that it's happening, because those girls have so much more in terms of what they want to achieve today than they ever did before. And it's down to that center.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I just want to say, if you don't want your headset, please donate to me. I can send it somewhere for someone.
I might have to ask my husband first.
No, I meant everybody here in the room. If they
Yeah,
don't
no, if you
want
do
the
have spare headsets,
Yeah. Mhm.
honestly, if you're not using it, if you've kind of upgraded your headsets and
Yeah.
you've got ones that are sort of, just sitting gathering dust, look, if you can donate it, it means it's going to change someone else's life, big style, I promise you, because I've seen
Yes.
these girls. They really, I mean, they're selling stuff in metaverse now, and they
Right.
didn't even wanted to speak a word when they first went into school to talk to these girls. So they've
Mhm.
come a long way. They've come a long way.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
That's awesome.
No, thank
That's
you.
awesome.
Thank you.
Miss Jen Smash, ma'am. Yes.
And good morning, good night. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, me neither.
So tired. I just want to say Viva Coach is a very special person for me, because she is part of my professional staff for VIP Entrepreneur Academy. In fact, she's, the most impactful to the students. And I just want to say thank you, Viva Coach, for enhancing my program. I love what you're doing. I took her class today. OMG. It was a master class, but I think I need to be in the elementary class. But yeah, she's dope. I've been telling you for a long time about this lady. I'm happy you got her on the stage.
We know Jen.
But
Thank
Viva
you so much, Jen.
Coach,
And right back at
very
you.
im-
You know, I absolutely
I
adore you.
know.
Love you.
Please tell them about what you do with the UN. That is, to me,
Mhm.
is very impressive. So yeah, just speak on that.
Yeah, of course, of course. So this year I was selected as United Nations Women UK delegate, and it's
Wow.
for what they call CSW. It's essentially the biggest, largest gender equality gathering each year, and of course, United Nations headquartered in New York. So all the states that are part of United Nations come together to agree on next phase, next part of how to create gender equality. This year, the topic was all around poverty and financial economy for women. And that was the focus. And I was part of all those discussions, and they were absolutely amazing, amazing women who took part in that, and men, because of course, allyship is extremely important. And they have signed a document, which means that there will be a number of projects moving forward that will focus on how to address poverty in
Mm.
women. Because even today, I mean, they opened up their talk burden by saying that if you were to look for another word for poverty, you would say women. That is the scale of
Wow.
this issue across the globe. We still have women who do not have full authority to be able to take loans and financial support for their businesses unless a male sort of subject in their family, in their friends, are
Mm.
able to sign that piece of paper in the bank for them. That is a huge barrier, especially if you think about those that perhaps are in domestic abuse, abusive relationships, can't escape them, or those where there's some culture barriers involved in it, etc. So there's a lot to be done, and it's a very with. But having said that, I was also absolutely amazed to what is happening and the changes that are being made. They're absolutely phenomenal, and I think that that'll be great. But look, it's still going to take sort of hundreds of years before we get gender equality. And actually, right now, with the trajectory that it's going to, I will not see gender equality in my lifetime, and that
Mm.
is extremely saddening. So
Right.
there's a lot of work to do. If we can accelerate AI, I'm sure we can accelerate gender equality. We just have to stick with it. We have to do it together. Women can't do it on their own. Men can't do it on their own. We've got to come together and look. Half of this world is women, and therefore, one of the things that I brought back from United Nations was supporting, sponsoring, and being alive for women is not a charity. It is actually return on investment, because we know the science tells us, the reports tells us, the research tells us that more you invest in women, the better, more sustainable economies you create for future. That's
Mm.
just how the math works. So yes, my parts of taking part in the United Nations was absolutely amazing. They're knocking on my door now to lead on a couple of projects that have come out of it, and I'm actually signing up to one of them. Absolutely, yes, here in the UK first, and then see where we go from there. But yeah, absolutely, it was amazing experience. But
That's
thanks for reminding me
awesome.
as well, Jen.
Awesome. I love it. Oh, I mean, I mean, look, just as much as you guys, people are fighting for gender equality and things of that nature. I mean, the same fight continues to go on and on and on about racial equality. I mean,
100%.
I mean,
Hmm.
I mean, for whatever reason, we can't seem to get past these barriers to create a greater
Right.
change for us as a humanity, because it's just
Hmm.
not one or two type of cultures that are dealing with these certain circumstances. Everybody is involved in this. This is not just it's just not the 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 rich or the poor things. Everybody is
It's not,
involved in
it's
this.
everyone. And look, I led on one of the programs in the UK called Color Brave. And
Yes.
part of that was to actually have very open conversations about being color brave is extremely important, right?
Yes.
So just start having those conversations with people, even if sort of they're asking questions that perhaps may come across offensive. Sometimes it's just because of lack of understanding and knowledge. And through Color Brave program, I was working with people to kind of go, just find courage to ask the question,
Yes.
regardless of how you ask it and what you say, because I am here standing to support and help you understand it, and I'm not taking any offense. When you put
Right.
that out there, people are a lot more open, because today we've created a politically correct world. And in
Mm-hmm.
politically correct world, we are not no longer educating people, we're just trying to say the right thing. And we're
Yes.
doing that in absence and a void of actual knowledge and understanding. And
Definitely.
that's really, really important. But you're absolutely right. Such a long way to go with racial equality as well. Today, look, I've shared with you, I was born in Pakistan. I traveled back and forth with the UK and live in the UK now. I mean, I've definitely lived majority of my life in the UK than I have in Pakistan. My kids are born in the UK. Have they had racial encounters? Absolutely, yes.
Right.
to the
Yes.
extent where even my dog has been called certain names. He's a dog, for heaven's sake. But by
That's wild.
association, he's been called different things.
Right.
So
Right.
yes, absolutely. Look, female empowerment, absolutely up there. But I'm a diversity advocate. It's really important for everyone to acknowledge and recognize that, equality and more so equity is extremely, extremely important.
100%. Yes, ma'am. And Jen, you're not just gonna get off that box that fast because you're just as special within who you are as well. And you want to speak on the coalition that you have created, ma'am, and what you're involved in?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have been, as you know, I'm a double amputee, and I claim, I definitely say that, thanks to the metaverse, it reinvented myself. I brought my business in here, and I'm doing well. So I want to change amputees' lives like me. And so I'm creating a meta amputee coalition to be a world to help educate, give some resources, get some information and mental health. So I'm building that together with my professional team outside of the metaverse, my prosthesis, my OT, PT, whatever, all the professional side. And with MetaClean, he's get some creators to create this world. But I was recognized by the National Amputee Coalition, and we had an exciting meeting. They are 100% backing this up. They want me on the national stage. I'm now going to record everything and be able to show other amputees nationally that the metaverse can
Mm.
change your life. So I'm
Hmm.
really excited. And thank you.
I'm excited. I'm
That's
excited. I
my
mean, this
friend
is
right
just
there.
brilliant.
Okay.
This is
Yeah.
so great.
So
I
yeah. So
love
I just
it.
want to help other people, man. This really is the future. So
Facts.
Hmm.
mentally we could work on ourselves, figure it out, and be happy, man. Life is too short.
That's it.
Couldn't
Ah,
agree more. Couldn't
yep.
agree
That's it.
more. Couldn't agree
Absolutely.
more.
100%. And look, I have shared Jen's story with so many people, and it inspires people to the level I've not seen before. Because as soon as you mention what she's achieved and what she's achieving for others now, people just they're speechless. Honestly, Jen, when I've
Yep.
shared it, I was at Ulster University, you're aware, I shared your story there. They were amazed. They were amazed to what you're doing and what you're bringing to Metaverse. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Love it. Well, in closing, ma'am,
Hmm.
before we get out of here, just let the people know how they can contact you if they ever need your assistance, and anything to that nature. What's the best way to contact you, whether it's through social media, emails, anything like that? The f-
Absolutely.
the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, look, Viva Coach Experience, people often ask me, why is it an experience? The reason for that is because I believe in 360 degrees of learning experience, right? So, it's an experience of learning and growth. So, each month at Viva Coach Experience, you have a topic of the month. Last month for me, it was personal brand. This month, it's artificial intelligence. Next month is business strategy. And then I've got a number of different topics coming up in upcoming months. So each month I have a Viva podcast that's usually typically first Wednesday of the month at 7 p.m. EST on that topic. Then it follows up with it's the masterclass, which is the second week, third week, depending on demand. And then I do a Viva talk, which is the final Wednesday of the month. Everything's on Wednesday, 7 p.m. EST. And the Viva talk brings expert panel on that same topic as well. And that's why it's an experience. That's why it gives you 360 degrees of learning and growth together from experts, from knowledge banks, from resources, articles, everything that I share. So how can you get in touch with me? I'm on Instagram at the Viva Coach. Please do follow. And I share a whole load of resources on there, and I'll continue to do that on different topics. Then I do have a website as well. It's www.thevivacoach.com. You can go on the website. You can actually purchase master classes and the coaching sessions. I do master classes, but I also do one-on-one coaching sessions as well, life coaching for women, as we've talked about, and business coaching for everyone. So I can walk you through any part of your business and work with you on one-on-one basis to do exactly that. And that's how you can get in touch with me. If you want to email me, it's contact@thevivacoach.com.
Love it, ma'am. This conversation was everything I thought and expected it was going to be. It
Thank
really,
you.
really
Thank you.
was. And I want to say thank you for staying up long enough to have such an engaging conversation on such topics that are so relevant within this space and in this world
Hmm.
as we speak.
And
Um,
thanks to you, for sort of putting me on a spot on some of those some of those questions, and hopefully I've been able to share something back with the audience as well. But look, it's been my pleasure. It's been such a great conversation, but it really has been.
Awesome. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you very so much. And thank you guys for staying long enough to listen and have the conversation, and I hope you guys took something from it. I thought it was I pray that it was informative for you guys as well. And again, thank you guys for coming through. I definitely appreciate it. She dropped a wealth of knowledge today. And just not just from a business standpoint, just but from a human standpoint in regards to how she advocates for women and things like that. So I hope a lot of the women within the audience took a lot of that and you want and utilize it. You know what I'm saying, to better themselves and walk around here with their heads a little bit higher and with a little bit more confidence in regards to what you guys can achieve within this space. Although it's in certain ways very male dominated. So thank you guys, and I definitely appreciate it. Lux Vision Studios, as always, CJ, Divine, thank you guys for always coming through. Hopefully we streamed on every platform from Instagram to Twitter to Facebook as well, and this information is being driven amongst the masses. So again, I appreciate you guys for coming through. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. And I will see you again next week. But before I go, I want to say one more thing. We lost a phenomenal uh, pioneer in basketball today. Jerry West passed away today of 86 years. For those who don't know who Jerry West is, the logo on the NBA uniforms, that is his silhouette. For those who don't know, he's been remarkable in establishing a couple of basketball entities from the Lakers to the Golden State Warriors as well. He is overall a phenomenal basketball mind, and we will NBA will miss his tutelage, his knowledge, and I'm almost willing to bet that. But definitely, life is definitely short, so take advantage of every day. God gave him 86 years. I'm trying to get 120. So, with that being said, I appreciate you guys, and again, I thank you for coming through. This is Ask Your Q, Speak Your Truth. I'm your boy Burden the Proof. See you guys next time. Gone.